Hi there folks, and welcome to another episode of Michael's Backyard Marina. Well, today we're taking you on another boat adventure. I've got a person that has offered up a boat for free, and it's only 38 miles from my house, and it's in mid-80s, got a 90 horse Mercury. I think it's a 17 or 18 foot aluminum boat. Floor is rotten in it. That's okay on an aluminum boat. That's a lot easier to fix than on a fiberglass boat. This road is rough. Anyway, it's we'll get there. We'll see what it's all about. Find out what the story is behind the boat. Has paperwork for a trailer and boat. You know, it's a win-win-win on that one, folks. So we're gonna get there shortly. We'll look it over. I'll probably, you know, see what the person's willing to be on camera even, and get some information straight from them on the boat, and any other little, you know, it's always nice to know a little bit of the history of the boat and the engine and what happened. And last time we were on the water, smoke was coming out from under the hood or something like that. You know, it's always nice to know what to zero in on. We'll go from there. So hang in there. We'll be there, and we'll do a walk around on the boat, and it's gonna be fun. I'm always excited when you go grab a new hull and trailer and engine. And you know, also got the boss with me today. There's the boss. She's always up for going, especially if I'm buying lunch. She's got her cappuccino. She's happy. All right. Well, let's keep moving, and we'll check in when we get there. All right, we just picked up. The wind's blowing like crazy out here. You can see there's a Coralville Lake. White capping pretty hard out there, but let's just take a look at this. Ouch! Don't step across trailer tongue, you know, pay attention to what you're doing. So what we got here is an Alumacraft Trophy 170. And let me look at the year. What we got here is a 1986 is what it said. The tire on this side looks a little bit cracked. I think we're gonna have to put some air in it. It's slacking pretty hard there. We're gonna put the old air pump on that. It's like the old guidepost was busted off at some point in history. But it's got a 90 horse Mercury, 6-cylinder, is what the guy said. I haven't pulled the cover off, but he said it ran last year, but it had a little water coming out from around the spark plug. So we'll be diving into that as well. But so far, pulled it down the road a little ways. It pulls really well. But here's the big secret right here. Whammo! Had a tree fall on it. So it's got a nice big whoop sticking out here. If you look down the side of it, she's pretty rough. But you know, I ain't scared. I don't see why I can't take some of this stuff apart and get some heat and some body tools and see if I can bring that back up to something that resembles more straight. I'm not afraid of that. Got a fairly new trailer tire over here, practically brand new. The bearing buddy cap on it. Shortlander trailer. It's got a Mercury trolling motor. I don't know if you guys have seen one of these before, but it's a Mercury Thruster Plus L. I don't know what that all means. But she's an old one. Bet it still works. But yeah, this thing is pretty sweet. Let's close the glass here. Ba-bam. Oh, she don't close so good anymore. I think there's a little bit of, let's just call it misalignment when it comes to the big dent here. We might have to call this boat the Big Dent. Why not? Does have power trim. Sweet. That's gonna be nice. Could use a power washing. It's got some soft spots in the floor, but the beauty Boy, this will be a test of how well this thing works in this wind. I'm probably standing right here facing, at this moment in time, 25 to 30 mile an hour direct wind right in my face. So we'll see how this thing actually works. It's got lights, aerator. It's got a live well built into it. So this is made to fish. But we're gonna bring her back around for sure. I'm excited to work on this one. This paint will power wash up and clean up nice. We're gonna pick up a boat cover on the way home and see if we can get the, you know me, I cover all my boats. We'll get a boat cover on it and we'll go from there. But it looks like a pretty solid boat. The guy I got it from, it was his dad's boat, and he remembered as a kid tubing on this boat and doing some repairs on this boat and stuff like that. So, you know, it had a lot of history and he hated to see it go to waste, but it needed more work than he was, you know, wanted to play around with, and I get that. These can be very intimidating, especially when you got a whammo. Look how hard it hit up here, and you get down here and look at this fender. It didn't hurt the boat at all down here, but it put a big old crease in that fender. But that's okay. We can hammer that out too. But yeah, I don't think it's been stressed too much up, you know, below. This is above waterline stuff here. That doesn't worry me at all. Has some stereo speakers, some Pioneers. Got an old radio in it. Got the seats are a little rough, that's for sure, but got some really nice seat mounts. I like these seat mounts in here. Got 4 seats and 4 seat mounts. We can put some more seats on top of that for sure. But it looks like it's rated back here in Iowa. You know, they put this number 7 here. It's a rated for 7 passengers. But yeah, you guys have been asking me to work on some big motors, big Mercury. I just can't run across them. Not a lot of them around that are on the market. This one is definitely a big boy, and it's gonna be fun to work on, and we'll get it running. He said he had it running, and he said it ran pretty good, other than the water around the spark plug hole. So I haven't messed with these much, but is it a cracked block or cracked head, or is it just a bad gasket? We'll find out. We'll all find out together. All right, I'm gonna get the old JF Egro pump out, and we're gonna put some air in this tire, and hopefully it doesn't go snap. Once I get it, I want to take it up to about 45 pounds. And but yeah, that's definitely gonna need a new tire. I don't know if you guys ever owned one of these like this. This is a JF Egro 3000 amp jump starter with air compressor. Nice thing about this, you can set the pressure, which I got set at 45. This only had 25 pounds in it, but you can turn it on and walk away. And that way, if it blows up, you don't have your head or face or anything near that tire when it happens. But yeah, the gunnels, everything looks a little rough in here, but it's all very restorable. This is nothing scary here. Nice thing is the floor is all pop riveted in. We can drill out rivets. We can pull this floor out. We can, you know, check out the foam underneath. It just makes it easier. Fiberglass, yeah, you can have a floor rot out on this aluminum. It's easier to put a new floor in because you just do some resin treat it, or, you know, seal up your plywood real good, cover it in carpet, and bam, throw it back down in here, rivet it back into place, and you're good for another decade or two. But yeah, we'll get the power washer a hold of this and we'll shine her up. We ain't gonna do any more paint. Even if we do put some heat in here and this paint doesn't take the heat very well, that's okay. That's why we're gonna call this the Big Dent. You know, it's just one of those things when you look at a boat and you wonder what you're gonna name it, that just feels right. The Big Dent. What are we up to for pressure? It's up to 45 pounds. It should be shutting off any second now. But yeah, the winch is there. You know, mineral rust. It's got the safety chain on the bow here. It's got a trailer tongue jack. Does not have a safety chain. That bothers me just a lot bit. We gotta definitely get a safety chain on this bad boy. So I'm gonna take it easy. All done. That tire's not bulging near as much now, but there is a lot of mud on it. But yeah, she's definitely weather checked. We'll date coat it, but I guarantee you that ain't no good. All right, we're gonna head to the boat cover store. Yeah, you know me. Let's get a boat cover. I don't care how bad it is on the inside. I can't let it sit and take on any more water, weather, or anything. I'm gonna preserve it as I received it, and we'll make it better from there. All right, we're gonna head to the boat cover store. Alrighty, we got it this far. We only came about 5 miles down the road, maybe a little bit more, maybe 10, but it was all 2-lane, low traffic areas. I don't like not having a safety chain, and I'm gonna get on some interstate for a short amount of time, and I just don't want to risk this thing coming off because the hitch is not brand new, but it's you know, good enough. So we're gonna see if we can go ahead and change. I bought me some bolts, some safety chain. We're gonna see if we can get some safety chain on here and get that thing tidied up and doing what we need to have it doing. Now, one thing I noticed, check out this tongue length is just long enough. Watch this here. We're gonna open this tailgate up and it will just, look at that. Boom. It's like it was designed for this tow vehicle or something. What? No, that's not possible. All right, let's get down here and get some of the tools out of the back and get this thing hooked up proper. Well, it's not an ideal situation. This chain is not very long. It's a total of 30 inches. I thought it was 30 inches for each side, but it is a 7,800 pound chain, I think is what it said, for brake strength. So I was able to get one through the bolt here, and we got a hook up here that is spring loaded. It is a got a keeper style clasp on it. I feel much better about that. It's better than nothing, that's for sure, and that'll get me home. All right, let's finish getting this thing home. All right, we made it home, safe and sound. What do you see right there, folks? New boat cover, that's right. It's not the most expensive one in the world, that's for darn sure. But we'll get it on this boat before the day is done. We're gonna remove some of this stuff here though. So anchor winch, you know, they're fun and nice and all that fun stuff, but I won't be using them. Everything else made it home just fine. The old tire made it home. We'll date code that in a minute. But the one thing I want to address is the coupler. It's not in bad shape. Quite frankly, I've got some that are probably a little worse. A little lube on it wouldn't be a deal breaker, but I'm gonna go ahead and put a new coupler on there. And I've got a safety chain that is absolutely long enough now to reach. I'm gonna bolt that on there, get that part dealt with, and then after I get that done, we'll go inside and look inside the boat and wander around inside and open up some covers and, you know, just see what's going on inside the boat. Alrighty, we got the new coupler, new safety chain, and safety pin put on. Yeah, this might not be towed for quite a while, but you know, it's there ready for me. I took off back here. They had an anchor winch that you saw. anchor winch and a little something here, you know, to guide the anchor down. But those are just, right now, those are just gonna be boat cover killers. So I got rid of that. And the other one up front, oh, I did, by the way, look in there, inside where the skis would go, nothing, it's empty, which is good. Up front, the live well has a couple of bumpers, and the other side storage area up front here, nothing much. Half chewed on walnut, that's about it. All right, let's get around here and knock this off, because we're about ready to cover this thing up and visit it another day. I've got all the bolts and hardware off of this, but it didn't want to, doesn't want to give it up. Let's see if Big Mo will encourage a little action out of it. There we go. It's a little rusty crusty in there. There we go. Let go. Wow. Oh, it's half rusted in too. There we go. So is that one, half rusted in too. That's been there a little while. All right. Who's shooting? Somebody over there shooting. Shoot 'em, Elizabeth, shoot 'em. We'll check the wheel bearings another day. We got all the things that's gonna tear up my tire. Now you guys might ask yourself, Michael, why did you get a boat with so much damage? Well, the wrinkle's here, right? And I want you to look at something. And I'm gonna tell you why I got it. You probably can't see it in the sun. But if you look along this rail right here and up front, that's all straight in line with each other. I just gotta get the wrinkle out. But if you stand back and look at it, I got the sun on the wrong side of the camera here, but she'll straighten out. I just think I can do it. And what's wrong with a challenge? If you don't challenge yourself every now and then, you don't know what you're capable of. I think I'll be capable of this. I'll do a little research, find out some of the tricks of the trade. You know, YouTube University. And we'll figure it out. Now it's time to go get me some pool noodles. And you guys know what I do with pool noodles. We put them all around the glass. Now this has a nice soft edge on the glass, but that'll still eat a hole through a cover. So I wrap this with all the way across the top with a pool noodle, and then we'll tighten that cover down over top of things, and we'll keep it dry. Because right now, it can easily get rained on and, you know, just make things worse, and I don't want to make it worse. It's in my possession now, and we're gonna keep it right and tight. Well, I might have to leave this dent here because, you know, it's got a lower leg swing height. That ain't awful, is it? Nope. Now, like you guys see me do many times in the past, go to the dollar store or wherever and get yourself a pool noodle. Split it down the middle. And there's something so satisfying about that. I don't know why. And just wrap this thing around your windshield. There we go. That's a beauty, Clark. Number 2. Now remember, kids, always cut towards yourself. Don't do that. It's a bad plan. Now on this boat, you don't have to come all the way down here around the bottom. This bottom's not going to do anything. But at least it'll look cool while it's sitting still, maybe. A couple of you just said, that dude doesn't know what cool is. You're probably right. There we go. Yep. Protects your head from hitting that. Let's get the cover stretched on here. I got to admit, this is a boat cover that cost about $100. It may not last forever. I don't know how long it may last. I got one on the red boat and I got one on this one now. But I know they do shed water very well. How breathable are they? I don't know, but these aren't sealed up tight around here in the back of this boat where it hangs over the back of the motor, the outboard. It's a lot of air there, right? But what I did here, these came with long straps. They were designed to go like round under the boat, hook up to the other side. I cut them in half and I sewed a loop in the end. Why, you say? Well, I'm gonna go get my nutsert tool. I'll show you that real quick. For those of you that are seeing this for the first time, I'll demonstrate one and then we're gonna time lapse the rest. But I got these so I can hook them onto a hook here and then give them a little whoop, yank them down. And this boat will be protected from the weather. And this is supposed to be a towable. They claim it's a towable cover. I've yet to tow a cover, but tow with a cover on it because I'm usually going right to a lake and dropping it in. I don't want to wrestle with the cover. Now, I will say one thing, Empire covers. I haven't had a sealskin one yet, but the Empire covers that I do have, this elastic cord in here is heavy flipping duty. I mean, when you're pulling it back, you're putting some tension on. I mean, I think you could launch a small child 1/4 mile with the amount of tension you can put on that Empire cover one. But, so Empire cover, I'm just telling you, I got about 3 17-foot boats that I wouldn't mind putting a better cover on. So hit me up, sponsor a video, or just send them to me and I'll mention you. I don't know what you want to do, but you don't get a whole video dedicated. But they're not cheap, folks. They're not cheap, but I do have 1, 2, 3 boats with that heavy duty Empire covers on them, and so they want to sponsor me, I'll talk more about it, but not until then. I'm not being greedy. Just it's just good business. All right, let's get in here close and I'll show you what I'm gonna do to hook all these straps up, and you guys are gonna love it so much you're probably gonna do it yourself. Well, I've got some 1/4 inch nutserts here. They're about a 351 diameter on the OD. So I got a drill that fits it pretty decent. Here's the tool if you haven't seen it before. You screw one of the inserts onto threaded piece here. And then kind of figure out where you want to have your pull down, your hole. About in that area, we're going to go ahead and drill a hole here. My stool a little closer here. Once you get your hole through there, just slip the nutsert in there and give her a squeeze. Once you got it seated, just back the old threaded piece out here, and you got yourself a cool little threaded hole that you can stick one of these bad boys into. And I'll take that nut there and I'll jam nut it with a little 7/16 wrench, and then I'll put this strap on here just like this, get it all up in there, give this a tug, and your cover's down tight. Can't beat that, can you? I like it. We'll go ahead and get a 7/16 wrench and jam that in there, and we're off to the next one just that fast. I'm gonna time lapse you through the rest of it. Have fun. Well, folks, there it is. This cover is on there nice. Water will shed off of it. Now, this type of cover, what's in my shoe? Squirrel. Shoot them up, boys, shoot them up. This will not, I don't feel would hold up very well in snow, heavy, wet snow, but it sure will be fine for the rest of the summer in the rain, for sure. But, you know, this makes a nice, neat job out of it. The cool part is you can loosen them up, unhook the hook, let these stay snapped on there. That way you don't have to have separate pieces you're looking for. You just unhook it from down there, roll it back, and you're off to the lake. And, excuse me, must have got too much fresh air today. But I want to thank Andy for hooking me up with this boat. This is one of those that somebody hated to see just end up going to total waste. I feel that this boat can be resurrected. I'm gonna do some studying on massaging aluminum. We'll fix that. The tree limb, this was parked in the timber, and what happened, he said he thought it looked like wasn't just a tree fell on it, but a big tree limb fell down out of the top of a tree, landed on it. That's why it's such a straight down shot there. And then on the other side of the boat, I noticed when I was putting these hooks on there, there's a, you can see where there's a dent poking out, and it split the aluminum a little bit. So we'll have to repair that. It's got a nice little hole there, but it's a split, not a hole. So I can actually drill a hole at the end of each split to stop the split. Then I'll take some of that solder, or maybe just some JB Weld. I don't know. We'll see what we do when we get there. But when I pull the floor out of this boat, that'll be the perfect time to repair that, because I'll have access to both sides, and I can take and massage that dent back flat again, and then, you know, get her sealed up right. But yeah, it was his dad's boat. He remembered being tubing behind this boat when he was a young kid, and he hated to see it go anywhere else. So Macy, won't use any last names, Macy told me about this, and it's her boyfriend, told me about the boat, and I said, yeah, I'll take it. And the price, I'll be honest with you folks, the price of this boat was free. But, I gotta respect the owners of the boat that's turned it over to me to be the caretaker, bringing it back around. And, you know, so we get many, many more years of use out of it. I hate to see these things, you know, just go complete waste. Because somebody, you know, this boat wasn't far from somebody just selling the outboard off the back of it. And then, you know, scrapping out the trailer, whether it went to the dump or they cut it up for aluminum and then sold the trailer to somebody. That would be a shame. In my book, that's a shame. This one here, you know, I've bought and looked at enough boats. I know when to walk away and I know when to, you know, get a hold of them. And this was definitely a get a hold of them situation. Ow, that was right on the bone, right on that chine. Holy smokes. But the rest of the boat seems pretty solid. Yeah, the floor is a lot like a sponge, like a trampoline. It's bouncy, but that's gonna be easy enough to fix. Ben, who you fighting over there with your rifle, buddy? Anyway, I'm happy with it. Oh, I did date code that tire. The tire on the right side. This one here is fairly new. It's much newer. I can't remember if they said they had put a new tire on this one last year. Where is it? Show me. Well, that tire ain't brand new. Now, if this tire was bought new, it's been sitting on the shelf a long time because it has a date code of 2412, which means it was the 24th week of 2012. This is 2013. That tire is over 10 years old, so as new and as nice as it looks, it's a hazard. The other one was an 05, so it's way old. It's got a lot of weather checking on it and stuff. This tire, unless it had the date code on it, you wouldn't know how old that tire is. But yeah, now that I know that both tires are 10 years old, glad I made it home. Because tires, you know, rubber from the day it's made, I've said this many times, from the day it's made, it starts to age. And it doesn't get any younger. You can keep it in a basement, you can keep it in a cool, dry place, you can keep it everywhere you want. Truth of the matter is, rubber that's 10 years old is still a hazard. Automotive places that do tires and tire shops will not touch a tire that's over 10 years old. That's all there is to it. It's a safety hazard, it's a liability, and you don't want to have that on your conscience. All right, so what do we do today? We went and got a 1986 Alumacraft with a 90 horse Mercury. I'm assuming it's the same year, same vintage. We'll find out. We'll do date code the motor as well. The outboard, motor, whatever you want to call it. We put a new trailer hitch on it, new safety chains on it. We'll have to obviously get it licensed, and we'll get the title transferred over on this boat into my name, so I can, when I eventually do get it done, it can go on the water. There again, once again, Macy, Andy, thank you so much. It's much appreciated. It's going to help the channel out a great deal. It's going to give us a lot more content. You guys have been begging. Not everybody. Not all of you are Mercury fans. I got a dog named Mercury, and I had another dog I was going to name Evinrude as a puppy, but somebody wanted to adopt that pup when she was a little 8-week-old pup. Had to let her go to a good home. That was fine. That's what you do with puppies when you have, you know, when your dog has puppies. Find them good homes, but I had Mercury and Evinrude. Well, they named her something else. Well, I think her name still might be Evie. Short for Evinrude, I guess. But anyway, now we got a 90 horse Merc to play with, so we got a big boy to wrestle around and learn together on. I've never worked on it. You know, I call this Michael's Backyard Marina. I've been playing around with boats since, late 2017 now. I've learned a lot over the last 6 years. We're not quite 6 years yet. Let's call it 5.5 years. But you immerse yourself into any kind of hobby, you will learn a lot of things real quick. I share my knowledge as I learn it with you guys. I'll make mistakes right in front of you. That's fine. That's part of the learning process. So, all right. What else is there? Oh, this does have a live well. It's got a place for it to bilge and everything. Not bilge, but to fill it up. It's got an aerator in it. So this will be a really cool boat to take out fishing. Trolling motor, you know, I like the trolling motors that, you know, can do a spot lock and do that kind of thing. But this one will be just as fun to take out, troll around, you know, check out some See if we can wrangle some bass, maybe put some in the live well eventually in the future. We'll see how that live well works. We'll get everything on here functional. I've got, now my son will tell you, I got way too many projects. You'll never get them all done. Well, I'll only not get them all done if I die. But otherwise, I'm gonna be working on them, feeding you guys content. I've got a red boat, a green boat, a beige boat. I got another white boat, a rinker boat. I've got the big old blue boss over here, Starcraft 21 footer. I've got plenty of things to work on. This video that I was gonna drop today, this should be Sunday. Hopefully, if I stay up late enough, I might be able to get it to drop, but it might come out early Monday morning. Just trying to get at least a video a week, maybe a video every 5 days, somewhere in that rhythm, right? But I had another video planned to get done today, but then this opportunity presented itself and I had to jump on it. So I made this the video for right now, and I've got 2 other videos coming, you know, in the next 5 to 10 days. You'll at least 2 more videos, and I think you're gonna enjoy them. Stay tuned. It's good stuff. It's all good stuff. And I can't thank everybody out there for watching. Some of you obviously are watching all the way to the end. It's fantastic. You're giving me thumbs up. You're leaving tons of comments. I can't possibly respond to all the comments. Now, when a video first drops in the first 5 days, I try to respond and leave comments as much as I can. Then I go back to the general comments that are throughout the whole channel, which there's comments that are coming from people that videos I released 2 years ago. I go through those every now and then, and I try to respond to those. So if you really need a question answered, what in the Sam? That was a neat green old semi there. But if you need an answer to a question, don't be afraid to jump down in the description. I've got an email there. I'll answer all the emails. What the heck was that? I'll answer all the emails to the best of my abilities. Now, just to give you an example, I have one out there that you guys may or may not have seen. It's fixing the transmission on my 2011 Impala. And it's funny because people will leave comments on there, and I'm not knocking these folks. I know they're looking for help, but they'll leave a comment like, hey, my transmission, or not my transmission, my car's making a grinding noise. What do you think it is? Now, being as it's a transmission video, maybe they're talking about their transmission. What the heck's biting me? But maybe it's not. But, you know, I'll answer what I can when I can. And when I say grinding noise, I might answer back with a front, rear, transmission, engine. But grinding noise is never a good thing, especially transmission. Transmission's grinding, it's done. My transmission was a different story. You have to watch that video if you want to know more about that. All right. I don't know what else to say. There's another one in the yard. My wife. Oh, my poor wife. She tolerates me so much that when we pulled this into the backyard, and it's just, you know, added to the fleet. And if anybody comes into my backyard or even into my shed, you'll see every boat does have a cover on it. I try to protect them. I don't want to rot them any more than they already are. I want to bring them back one by one. And as this channel grows and goes, because now this one didn't cost me anything, but when you go to start working on it, it costs money. So as this channel grows and goes and starts creating more revenue, the faster I can work on these things. Sometimes you're financially restricted to be able to do exactly what you want to do. You got to wait till the money comes in, and then you can do a little more work. Eventually, guys, leave comments. I'm gonna eventually have merchandise. I'm not one that's pushing a lot of merch right now. I have right now, at the timing of this video, 17,500 subscribers. We're closer, we're climbing, which is great. I honestly don't know when people or channels start having merchandise. You know, if you want to have a piece of what I've got going on around here, you know, these boats are going to take on names. Well, we already got one called the Banana. We got the one called Good Enough. My wife wants to call the green 1977 boat that 70s boat and use that 70s shows logo and put that on the side or the back somewhere. This one almost, you know, not original, but, you know, let's call this the Big Dent. I don't know. Let's just have fun. I want to get some graphic art onto some shirts eventually, and you know, have my logo on the front, big logo on the back of some t-shirts, sweatshirts and stuff, so you guys can wear those. Be a part of the channel, be a part of the celebration. Maybe someday I'll get invited to a boat show. I don't know. And then I'll have shirts and stickers to give out to people. Until then, we'll just keep plugging away, grinding the grind, right? So this is Michael. I think I've said enough. But if it ain't broke, fix it till it is. And I'll see you on the next video real soon. And you guys take care of one another out there and be kind to each other. And live every day to the fullest. Don't waste a single minute. I'm out.